I know that it's been a minute since I've covered any news, but yeah, the war in Iran is not going well at all for the Trump admin. Basically, Iran is like saying, fuck you guys. Sorry, no more deals. Sorry. Suck it up, Buttercup. High gas prices, it's your guys' fault. Oh my god. Oilprice.com. What is crude oil prices? Man, it hit 82 bucks today. 82.70. It's on that rise, baby. Man, when we were at $60, we almost got back down to 60. Thank you. By the way, everyone needs to thank China for this. China has so much reserve oil and they stopped importing oil. This war, by the way, is 100% because of Israel, and I kind of want to just I saw this clip today and I thought it was really funny.
קשר של הנצרות והיהדות,
The relation. Okay.
שזו שואבים מבאר אחת.
I didn't know that Pope Francis didn't speak Hebrew at all.
che attingono dalla stessa fonte.
ישו היה פה בארץ הזאת,
Gesù ha vissuto qui,
דיבר עברית,
parlava ebraico,
דיבר ערבית, אבל ידע, דיבר ארמית, ידע עברית.
Yeah, this is not going well. And Fox is 100% dick sucking this shit.
In the former ambassador at large and counterterrorism coordinator under President Trump's first term, Nathan Sales. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for joining us today.
Great to be here.
So, everyone controls the strait, apparently. It seems like we're going.
Everyone does, and no one controls it. Nobody but everybody controls
in
it.
Circles here. What is the state of play here, and how does the administration break out of it?
Yeah, war is a test of will, but diplomacy.
Yeah, and you've given the Iranian people in government zero reason to ever back down from this war. Like, why are they ever going to back down from this after everything you've done to them? Fucking morons.
Is also a test of wills. And right now, what we're seeing is both sides digging in their heels and refusing to budge. Long term, I think the United States has a strategic advantage here because we have the ability to crush Iran's economy. We're imposing a blockade.
Dog, they don't care. They don't care, man.
We're imposing sanctions, and this is costing Iran an estimated $435 million a day. And that starts to add up with an economy that's already fragile. Now, Iran knows this, and what they're trying to do is weaponize the strait in a similar way and impose pain on the United States and our Gulf partners and the rest of the world. And the question is, who's going to blink first? Who has a higher threshold for economic pain?
Iran. Iran has the higher, ability to tolerate it. They're a theocratic autocracy. Like, are we serious?
I think it's the United States. I think our economy is much more resilient. And
yeah, but the people are not going to like it. The people of America are so weak. We love our cheap, tasty treats. We love that shit.
Durable, and the Iranians are really grasping at straws here. But ultimately, war and diplomacy alike, who is going to be able to impose their will on the adversary?
During President Trump's first term, you were at state, I was covering state. It was the time of maximum pressure where the U.S. was putting maximum diplomatic sanctions pressure against Iran. This is a regime that appears on the surface to have very little concern for the well-being of its citizens, let's say.
I agree, and that's why adding more pressure does nothing to them. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, you know what, Fox? You got me there. I also agree that Iran doesn't care about its citizens. But neither does the United States, obviously. They've shown that.
How difficult is it to compel the Iranian regime to actually change its behavior? It seems like this is something the U.S. has been at for years.
So we don't want our sanctions to impose pain on the innocent Iranian people because they've been suffering under this regime.
You guys do not care about brown people. Stop lying.
For 47 years. They are our friends. They are our natural allies. We have a shared
Nope, that's not true. Untrue.
interest in the regime having less power, less influence. Now, how do you impose pain on the regime? What you do is you target the IRGC. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is not just the shock troops of the Islamic Revolution. They also run the economy. They have so penetrated the Iranian economy. There's front companies, there's banks, there's construction companies, infrastructure. When you impose sanctions on what seems like the legitimate Iranian economy, you're actually hurting the power behind the throne, the shock troops of the Iranian.
Yeah, they don't care at the end of the day. Like, what motivation does this give them? They're just gonna double down. They have enough stockpiles of shit. This war could go on for years, and Iran would still hold its current position.
Revolution. So keep up the pressure, not just on the regime as such, but on the pressure points within the regime that are responsible for maintaining the grip on power. That's the IRGC, that's the Basij militia, and other instruments of repression.
How difficult is it for those at Treasury and State to keep up with how the IRGC transforms itself and how it tries to evade American sanctions and that underground economy that it has developed and profited on as a result of these sanctions?
Yeah, it's a great question. And our sanctions targeters are the best in the business. They have information from open source. They have other kinds of information that they use to identify underneath the surface what are the moving pieces that are evolving and changing in order for the Iranians to sustain their campaign of sanctions.
They just, like, none of our sources are going to be accurate, though. Like, the Iranian government has been pretty clear that they're gonna, sit this or wait this out for as long as they can, because they do not give a fuck about any of this. Also, we'll talk about the USS Lincoln here in a minute too. I needed to grab this video and I forgot about it.
There's also a huge island, tons of new pals.
Fuck off. Thank you.
Evasion. It's a game of whack-a-mole. We've got a really big hammer. That's the good news, but we have to constantly be vigilant to identify those evolutions to keep the pressure up.
And part of this game, or not game, it's a war of making sure that one side outlasts the other. There is concern of reporting that the U.S. weapon stockpiles, particularly Reaper drones. I think the Washington Post said the military has lost roughly 25% of its Reaper drones. How much of a vulnerability is that for the U.S.?
It's a big problem, and this is a wake-up call. It's like the third or fourth wake-up call about the state of the U.S. defense industrial base. We clearly need to be doing a better job. We need to innovate our way out of this problem. We need to put more resources. Congress needs to appropriate more money for airplanes.
Wait, they're about to say something about giving more money to Israel.
For other platforms, for munitions, because it's not just about Iran, it's about China and Russia, because those adversaries are watching, are we able to sustain a fight? And that's how you avoid a fight, is to demonstrate convincingly to your enemies, like Russia, like China, that we have an overwhelming military advantage over them. If our defense industrial base can't keep up, the Russians are going to test us and the Chinese are going to test us.
Okay, Ambassador Nathan Thales, thanks for joining us.
Great to see you.
Yeah, dude. Ugh, God, so much MIC money is pushed pushed by Israel. It's still Israeli coded, obviously, but fuck, man, this is a shit show. This is a shit show. And then on top of that, Trump, hold on, I gotta sneeze. Fuck. Trump says Hormuz is U.S. territory. Sorry.
After we finish
Meanwhile,
defeating
President Trump also
Iran,
addressing
which
Iran
is being
following.
very badly defeated. Pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
This cop in the background does not give a fuck. He just knows he's in the camera shot. Like, declaring the Strait of Hormuz as a U.S. territory is incredibly dangerous rhetoric. That is Lebensraum rhetoric right there, baby. I can't say anything besides that. Like, it's literally like, oh, we're just going to take over your country now. We're going to take over your territory because we want to.
Essentially, that's what we have.
By the way, the global world, the global economy will not go for this.
The blockade. No ships get through unless we want them to. But, and how about Venezuela? Venezuela was a one-day war.
Whoa, are we going to say we're going to make Venezuela U.S. territory? That's psychotic, dude.
And now we work great with them. We've taken in millions and millions of barrels of oil. But we're doing really good. We're doing good in every way. You know, I built the military, and now I used it a little bit more than I wanted to, frankly, but that's okay, because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Do we agree? Can't let it.
I mean,
And after we finish,
I agree, but Iran is nowhere near getting a nuclear weapon, and he knows this. All of the people in power know that Iran is nowhere close to getting a nuclear weapon for the next, like, probably 10 plus years. Like, they've demonstrated no ability to hold a nuclear weapon. And on top of that, justifying an invasion of a sovereign nation based off of potential perceived views of nuclear weapons, it's just Operation Tempest Storm. It's just weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's the same shit, different wipe, dude. I want to see how Fox said about this.
New York. The commander-in-chief floating the idea of making the Strait of Hormuz a U.S. territory.
No, he did not
Madeline
float.
Rivera joins us
He did not float the idea. He explicitly said, no, this is what we're going to do.
live from Washington, D.C. with more. Madeline?
Hi, good morning. President Trump says he did the right thing when it comes to the conflict. He says he won't apologize even as gas prices remain elevated, saying Iran is the #1 state sponsor of terror in the world. And then he made this comment regarding the Strait of Hormuz.
after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated,
Nope. We already saw this, so I'm going to skip past this.
pretty soon I'll be declaring the
U.S. has control of the waterway. As of August 12th, CENTCOM says the U.S. has redirected 59 commercial vessels, disabled 3, and boarded 2 ships to make sure they are complying with the blockade. But Iran argues it maintains the strait. Its deputy foreign minister is saying the Strait of Hormuz cannot be seized by tweet, nor by aircraft carrier, nor by issuing an order, nor by an election speech. Iran neither fears threats nor cowers before displays of power. The Strait of Hormuz has been Iranian, is Iranian, and will remain Iranian. Negotiations over a peace deal have stalled as Iran demands
Yeah, Iran is just like, obviously, they have no reason to accept any peace deal.
more leverage over the route. This comes as the United Arab Emirates blames Iran for firing drones at 2 tankers sailing through the strait Friday. The tankers were operated by a state-owned oil company. There were no deaths, but the UAE called the attacks acts of piracy. Charlie Rachel with.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all.
Yeah, whatever, man. I don't know, guys. This is just, it is a clusterfuck. And it's really interesting that we get to see something so poorly done in the U.S. It's such a strange time in global history. Because it really is like America's becoming the first 4th world country, and they are just taking the playbook of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. I don't know. Democrats got it. I mean, again, you can always blame Democrats for this. And then you have people like, what's his name? I almost said Charlie Chaplin. What's his name? Chat, what's his name? That John Fetterman, who sucked the dick of the MIC and Israel. So whatever, man. I'm just never, don't expect a deal ever in the future. The U.S. is just going to have to pull out for this to end. And they will, eventually.